Hello, and welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Ashley.
And our podcast is all about talking about our love of Tolkien stories and maybe introducing or helping you through some that you might have missed.
This season, we are covering the Unfinished Tales, Tolkien's extended versions / alternate universe / deleted scenes of a lot of the stories from the Silmarillion, plus some bonus content that didn't quite work with the Silmarillion narrative flow.
So, whether you've read every book, cover to cover, or you're just here because you're curious about Tolkien's other works or had a hard time reading them, all are welcome.
Now let's dive into the Unfinished Tales.
Woo!
Let's go!
Go! Before we dive into, because I have things to say about Galadriel and
She's
Celeborn.
got thoughts. She's got opinions.
I just wanted, because this is kind of like, I've said it to Colt before, I love talking about stuff that's happening in my life because it's kind of like my own personal little diary. So when I re-listen to episodes of ours from a while ago, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
Seriously.
It's pretty fun. But I wanted to say that if you guys ever come to Oregon, if any of my listeners out there ever come to Oregon, you have to do a fun Goonies tour that I just did, because I put together a Goonies tour with my family. We live about 2.5 hours away from where it was filmed, and we went to like some filming locations, and there's a little Oregon Film Museum. We went to the Walsh's house, which is the Goonie house. And if you guys, it was really funny because we went back and we watched the movie after, because the kids had seen the movie before, but we watched the movie again. And I realized that Colt hadn't seen it like since he was a kid. No, but he didn't watch it with us. And so he was kind of like, wait, you watched it without me? I'm like, haven't you seen it? He's like, not. We kept referencing stuff and he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
you don't have it memorized? What kind of childhood?
And then I realized I hadn't seen it in a bit. I hadn't seen it in a, like, my son will put it on, but I won't be in the room. I'll be like cleaning or doing something else. And so I'll hear it, but I haven't like sat down and watched it with my family in a while.
Baby Sean Astin.
I know. He's so cute in that movie. But I surprised myself by how much I kept reciting things when they would say it. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like my favorite is, I'm not 00 negative. I'm 007. I'm 00 negative. Like any data lines are my favorite. When he's like, you guys, slick shoes. Which I hate. Me and my son, my oldest son, we pick apart movies sometimes in good, like we love them. We're not being mean, but we're always like, yeah, I wonder how that worked. But wouldn't he be stepping on the oil like pumps
like constantly in his shoes?
Because he like pumps it out, and I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that we were talking about was in the movie, Mouth, or Corey Feldman's character. There's a scene where he is needing to translate English to Spanish. Gosh. He does an amazing job. He does a great job.
Such a good
Spanish. But I'm always like,
I was trying to explain to Lizzie what he was saying, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I should.
But I was talking to my son, and I'm like, he's like 13, maybe 14 in this movie, 13 or 14. When did he become how is he so fluent in Spanish? Is he like in character part Hispanic? Is he like, because like there's no explanation of why he is so fluent in Spanish. I'm like, okay, sure. Sure.
I mean, you never know.
Spanish.
What's her name? Alexis Bledel, the Rory from Gilmore Girls. Spanish is her first language, and you would just never know that. So, I mean, I don't know Corey Feldman's life.
Dude, she's the most Caucasian person I've ever seen. She's almost transparent. She's so white.
I know. And that's coming from two very white girls.
Hey. I'm actually part Hispanic, part Latino. Come on.
I know, but we freckle, we don't tan.
I know. That's interesting. But anyway, that was our takeaway of like, what? When did he learn? Huh?
Yeah.
How does he know Spanish? Yeah. I'm confused.
And it was like it's very good Spanish.
Yeah. If you ever want a good like insider person to know how to do the cool Goonies tour, just
hit up our DMs.
Our DMs on Instagram. It was beautiful. It was so fun. It was one of those like you plan a family day and everything goes well and everyone's in a good mood and it just is fun. You know what I mean? And you come home and you're like, that was a good day. We had a good day. I liked it.
I'm really happy for you on that because they don't always happen that way.
I know. But okay, I just had to say that because if any Goonies fans out there, hit us up if you're planning a vacation to do Goonies stuff, which is really cool because now it's only been around for like the past like maybe 2 years, maybe less than 2 years. But the people who lived in the Goonies house or the Walsh's house before this family lives there hated people coming up to their house. Like, they were so angry whenever anyone went up there. But they moved away, and the person who lives there now is a huge Goonies fan, and so they keep it open, and they put up little props from the movie all over their house. So they have like the little zip line from Data's house to their front door, like there, and then they have like the broken screen door, and then they have the little nameplate on their house.
They have like the little trap thing, or not trap, but like the mechanism that opens the gate.
Yeah. And then they also have the little sign that says the Walsh's house. It's cute. Yeah. It's cute. So if you were going to plan a trip, it's a good time to do it now because the people who go or who own it actually are not mean about it.
Yeah. You can't park in the driveway, so you have to like park a little down the ways and walk, but it's still, I mean, you want to be considerate of people, so be considerate.
It's a beautiful view. I understand why they chose it. It's like on the top of this hill and you can see the whole river. I think it's the Columbia River. And it's huge and it's so beautiful up there. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. I just wanted to say that.
So I can't segue from Goonies to Galadriel other than
okay, so we have been diving into Galadriel and Celeborn and like their history and stuff in these past few episodes. Correct. And what's confusing about Galadriel is that her history is not like this is the only story. Like there's only one version of her history. This is it. That's it, right? So what's hard about that is people have opinions. People have their own, like, well, I think it was like this, or, very, what's the word? Like how they want the narrative to be.
Because this is my favorite. This is my favorite narrative.
There isn't a set in stone exact whatever. Yeah. Right?
If you've listened to an episode and walked away not confused about Galadriel, then I'm doing it wrong because that is literally how reading this whole section has been. You might have noticed that
mystery.
Yeah. So also due to the complication of the section, but also due to it being summertime and children and work and mom life and stuff, we've barely been able to make the episodes out every other week. So I apologize. I'm doing my best. But man, these sections are tricky.
Yeah. Yes. But so it was very serendipitous that San Diego Comic-Con is happening right now. Well, it happened last weekend, I think. Because they had a huge Rings of Power panel. They had a huge like release of like still movie or show stills and
Mm-hmm.
trailers and announcements of new characters. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the new characters that is going to be introduced, it's not a spoiler because they put that out there, is
It's all
Celeborn.
over Instagram.
Is Celeborn, which is so fun that we are talking about this right now on our podcast. So if you are to listen to our podcast right now, you can be totally prepared for meeting Celeborn
Possibly,
in
depending
the
on which
show,
way they go.
which is interesting because we know that they do not have the rights to the Silmarillion. We know that they don't have the rights to. I don't know if they have the rights to like the Lost
Unfinished
Tales or
Tales.
whatever, Unfinished Tales.
Yeah.
We don't know what direction they're going to go, right? There's also
Right.
so many directions they can go of how they
Mm-hmm.
meet, what his history will be. But
How he feels about Halbrand moving in on his lady, you know.
I know Sauron, which the pictures of him as Sauron now, dang, that's crazy. He looks crazy. I will say both Ashley and I feel a little about the actor choice for Celeborn, which is I only know him as Vecna from Stranger Things,
Yeah.
which freaks me out a little bit. He
Well,
was
that's what's
in
so
something else.
present in the mind.
Oh, he was in Twilight. I totally
He was in
forgot about that.
Twilight. He was in Sweeney Todd. He was in Harry Potter.
Oh, he's Grindelwald. Grindelwald.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I looked this
So he's
up
those
because
scary
when I met
characters.
Bonnie Wright was actually engaged to him at one point in time, and they met on the set of Harry Potter.
So he's only seen as like spooky characters.
But have
With
you heard him sing the Joanna song, though? Like, after hearing Vecna, you're like, wait a minute.
what if he's gonna sing as an elf? What if he sings to Galadriel?
I mean, he has to.
Oh, maybe that's how he hooks her. Maybe she's like, oh, he's got a good voice. He brings out a guitar. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
I
It's like a
mean,
campfire situation. He pulls out a guitar.
dum dum dum
No,
dum
yeah,
dum
our
dum.
girl
They
is
do that through
is not
Migos.
gonna fall for a campfire guitar man. No, thank you.
No.
So,
Although being married, they don't really say married. That's not like how they consider things. I don't know what you consider things, but I'm going to say married. To a girl of such power and bad anus. I mean, you got to be, really secure in your masculinity. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. uh, yeah.
I mean, how do you compete?
There's just like she's carrying him around like a damsel in distress all the
Like
time.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do you do or one up the what is her name? The ring's name. This is, oh gosh, the
Starts with
One
an
Ring.
N.
Well, not the One Ring. The Nenya. And I am its
Yeah.
keeper. Yeah. How do you get a better engagement ring than Nenya? I mean,
True.
it's hard to outdo that one.
True.
Well, how much do you remember of their meeting and their journey that they've been on so far? How much do you remember that? It's been a hot minute, so I understand.
I know that they were like, weren't they traveling a lot? Like they
Road trip.
they did a long honeymoon. Or was it the
Mhm.
dating stage? Were they just dating then and they were traveling together? They like
They got
went
a hippie bus.
yeah. Yeah. They like went around and they met different groups of elves, right? Like
Yep.
and they were
Picked up some
traveling
hitchhikers along the way. Yeah.
traveling around, and I think Galadriel was saying like, "Hey, do you guys like feel like the vibe is off around here, or like, do you guys feel like something's wrong?" And they're like, "What do you mean? Nothing's wrong." And she's like, "Hmm." And then she kind of knew beforehand, kind of how they showed in the Rings of Power. Then everyone thought she was crazy, that there was a darkness around still. It hadn't fully
Mm-hmm.
gone away.
Mm-hmm. Her spidey senses were tingling.
So yeah, that's all I remember is them like traveling around, and then
Okay. Picking up some hitchhikers, and then
her being
the
like,
sense that
"Hey."
Sauron. Yeah.
And then we also met Celebrimbor, or
Oh
heard
yeah.
about Celebrimbor
Mm-hmm.
and Eregion, and how it was kind of like an artist district kind of thing. And
Yes.
it was close by to the dwarves in Khazad-dûm
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff, and that they became friends.
Yes.
Um,
You're doing so good. I'm really proud of you.
well, it helps that like I know people knock Rings of Power, but they got some things that are very helpful to remember that this
Yeah.
actually
The broad
is in the
strokes
book.
are there.
Yeah, like Celebrimbor was friends with Narvi, which I wish you saw more of in the Rings of Power, because they do show Narvi in the Rings of Power, but you don't ever see them talking, Celebrimbor and
Right.
Narvi together. But doesn't Narvi die? Does he die at the end of this
Well, I mean,
last?
they all eventually die, Abby.
I know, but like, do you see him die in this last season?
I don't
I don't remember.
I don't
I don't
remember.
remember.
I'm holding off on my rewatch because I like it fresh, you know.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So okay, the only gaps, I mean, you almost hit, like, I have like the bullet points of like the recap, and I'm like, you did that one, check, you did that one, check. Is that one cool thing is when they were traveling, one of the places that they ended up in was actually like on the borders of the Shire before the Shire became a thing,
Oh,
which is kind of
yeah.
cool. And then there was kind of, I could see it like a sticky note on the side. And then Amroth and possibly Celebrian were born at this time. And then it was kind of like scribbled out a few times, but maybe not. Like, it's very like obscure. Um, and then Galadriel is actually kind of the front runner with the friendship with the dwarves. I feel like they really hit on it with Elrond in the show, but I imagine. Can you imagine Galadriel and the main dwarf dude in The Rings of Power being friends? I mean,
Durin.
Durin. Thank you. I can only
King
think Thorin
Durin?
for some reason.
King Durin or Prince Durin?
Prince Durin, but
Oh,
her
sorry.
hubby.
Side note.
Oh,
Side
side
note.
note.
Did you see the Rings of Power releasing photos of my boy Elrond in his armor? Sorry, I just had to.
No, I have
It
not. I
threw it
have
in
not
there.
dived into it too much. I don't.
Whew.
Sometimes I'm like on the fence. Like, if I happen to see it, okay, fine. But like sometimes I just want it to be fresh. You know, I just want to
It's
take it
just
in.
movie stills. It's not. I don't like trailers. I don't watch trailers. It's just pictures. But I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Sorry. Anyway, sorry.
I'm not completely against it. I just, just want to come in fresh sometimes. There's some trailers I'm like, well, you just gave away the whole movie. Like,
I know. I don't do trailers. They bug me. Anyway.
So Celeborn doesn't like the dwarves as much, but Galadriel had like the foresight to know like this friendship will be important later. Trust me. He's like, okay. And then, yeah, we did meet Celebrimbor. We kind of revisited some possible versions of his backstory. We talked about his famous friendship with Narvi, and that it wasn't quite. I mean, one version was that Celebrimbor, and we'll get to this in probably next episode, but it's not exactly a spoiler. But one version of the story is that Galadriel and Celeborn were actually the ones to establish Eregion and be the Lord and Lady of Eregion. Where there's another version that is kind of more the Rings of Power show that it is Celebrimbor who is the Lord. So that is interesting. And then we had a reference to our, what do we call him? He's not the jerk face, but not favorite Aldarion, how he was starting to make moves onto Middle Earth, and he was making friends with Gil-galad, and then Galadriel and Celeborn setting up in Eregion, and he's like, Sauron's like, whoa, they're starting to get close. I don't like that. I don't want to be outnumbered, so I'm going to just hang back. And then, once he formed enough of his army, he started setting the stage to be Annatar.
Annatar.
Yes. I know. Okay. So, any questions about that so far?
I'm good. I think I got it.
Okay. So, I think you're understanding that this whole section is very confusing. I'll say it again. I'm doing my best to keep it straight, but if you get confused, stop me. But this is how I understand it. This is what makes sense in my brain. So we're going to put a pause on our friend Annatar's story, as I want to start off this episode by referencing a map to give us an idea on what we're talking about today. So if you look at the first map, Abby, basically zeroing... It's basically zeroing in on the Misty Mountains. Kind of last week we were in Eregion and the mountains of Moria and Khazad-dûm. That was on the west side of the Misty Mountains. This episode, we're going to be on the east side of the mountains, and we're going to talk about Lórien. I know. So exciting. So this is important to have this kind of view of what's happening because there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of places mentioned that all connect. And so just kind of keep that kind of image in your mind. So a mountain range kind of down the middle. We got Eregion on the west side and Lórien on the east side. West side, best side, though. So I'm sure you've been wondering how Galadriel and Celeborn came to make Lothlórien their home and how it is referenced as Lórien in some places and Lothlórien in some other places. It's a bit confusing, and those aren't even the two only names. There's more than two names for this place. We'll get to that in a minute.
The spa.
So while living in their settlement in Eregion, they were in close contact with the dwarves, like we talked about, of Khazad-dûm, and, quote, assisted in this by her friendship with the dwarves of Moria, had come into contact with the Nandoran realm of Lorinand on the other side of the Misty Mountains, Lorinand being one of the OG names of Lórien. Now, this introduction in my head could go a few different ways. So either, the dwarves, it's like a messaging system, like, hey, can you send this letter to my boy over there? Hey, can you send this message to my girl over there? And the dwarves are just like the messengers. Or
they have tiny male hats on.
Or they meet the Nandoran people and the Galadriel and Celeborn meet in Moria, which is kind of cool to think about.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or that Moria was even just like a highway in between. Because I don't see them going around or going, above the mountains. That doesn't make much sense either. So that picture in my head of Galadriel walking through Moria in its prime is wild to me.
Ooh.
I mean, it doesn't say that that's how it happened, but
I love when they showed active Khazad-dûm in the first Rings of Power. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad we got to see what it would look like.
Yeah. In the daytime? In the light?
Like working with elves or dwarves actually alive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not a mine. It's a tomb.
Yeah. This is pre-tomb days. So again, that is me speculating. Somehow, though, either way, the dwarves helped Galadriel and Celeborn make contact with a group of Nandor elves that were in Lórien. Now, if you remember, in one of the possible many origin versions of Celeborn, One of the versions that he was a part of the settlement of Nandor elves that lived in Lórien.
So he
If you don't
was, they're
remember,
saying he was from Lórien.
in that version, yes.
Yeah.
But I think the Sindar is the main one that they went with. But it's just interesting in case you're like, what is with Celeborn and the Lórien already? That was a possible origin story for him. Was that,
Okay.
and I want to say, I meant to look this up earlier, sorry, is that he could have been a prince of Lórien or something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
And if you don't remember who the Nandor elves, we've been over them a few times, but it's just one of those offshoot Teleri groups that were too scared to cross the Misty Mountains. There's a lot of offshoots of the Teleri elves. It won't be the last one we talk about today, unfortunately. But that's basically just this kind of offshoot. Now, we have a quite lengthy footnote here from Christopher that explains the many varying names for what we know as Lothlórien. Okay. Stop me if I'm getting too much in the weeds. But I actually found this really interesting. So most of the names that reference the golden mallorn trees that we learned about in the section about all of the different trees that were cool in that one area of Númenor known as the fragrant trees. Do you remember that? There was all these different ones
On Númenor.
on Númenor, yeah. There was like that one area that was like
Uh-huh.
all the cool stuff grows there. So that's where we were first introduced to the mallorn tree on our journey through the Unfinished Tales. Now, the mallorn tree actually had a similar kind of handoff, passed down journey as the white tree that would end up in Gondor. It has a story from of traveling from place to place to place. Starts in Valinor, of course, where all things start. Then it goes to Tol Eressëa and then to Númenor. According to a website that I like to use as a reference to help my brain, called the Encyclopedia of Arda. So this is not from the Unfinished Tales, but I feel like this helps link together it all. Quote, King Tar Aldarion of Númenor gave some silver mallorn seeds to his ally Gil-galad in Middle-earth, and he in turn passed them on to Galadriel. This was the origin of the famous golden mallorn that grew in Lórien. At the end of the Third Age, Galadriel continued the tradition by passing a mallorn seed on to Sam Gamgee, which he planted in the party field of Hobbiton in the Shire. So I love this. Yeah, this tradition of passing the tree seeds around.
And
So
those
cute.
are the leaves that we see that is so iconic, correct? That we see in a lot of like the leaves of Lórien, the the brooch. That's the
So
leaves.
I was thinking about this. So I'm not sure because those are green and these ones are known for being gold.
Hmm.
Which is also confusing because in the quote it says that Aldarion gave Númenor some silver seeds. And I was like, wait, I thought they were gold.
Maybe they go
Well,
from silver to gold.
yes, the seeds are silver, but then they grow into a gold tree. So yeah, I was very surprised that this wasn't mentioned in our Aldarion section. Apparently it's referenced in a place that I've heard mentioned a few times. It's a very obscure kind of, calling it a book is even too much. It's called the Parma Elda Lamberon. It's 17. It's like a journal. Words, phrases, and passages in various tongues in the Lord of the Rings. It has random references that like tie together things, but it's not
Is it
like
a
readily
physical book
available
you
at your
can
Barnes
get?
and Noble. I think so, but it's really weird. I've tried getting it before, and it's more like I want to equate it to like a medical journal where you have to like print it off. You can't like just buy it at a bookstore.
Oh,
It's really weird. Yeah.
interesting.
Yes. So the oldest name for the region that we know as Lórien or Lothlórien is Lindorn Lindorin and, which is very similar to the sound, the name we heard earlier, Linorndand. Linorn and. This is really hard to say. Sorry.
Lindorian end?
So, like, think of Lindor, like the chocolate, and then
Lindorian end.
in, and. Yeah, Lindor, in, and. Now, Lindor, in, and means Vale of the Land of the Singers, also referencing this another Teleri offshoot, a group of elves called the Lindar, meaning the singers. And that is what is supposed to be who settled Lórien. Now, tiny bit confusing because we said earlier that the earlier settlers of Lórien were the Nandor elves. I had the same exact question. Bit contradictory there, Tolkien. Well, apparently, Tolkien couldn't decide if he wanted to call the Teleri group Teleri or Lindar. So as far as I understand it, please, if you know, have a better understanding, please message me, because I was going back and forth in book and encyclopedias and all over. So as far as I understand, Lindar is a name that he was thinking about using, had used it a few times, and then just ended up being phased out.
Kind of fell out of love with it.
Yeah. So here is another thing from the Encyclopedia of Arda that might better help explain things. Quote, of the 3 clans of the elves that departed from Cuiviénen to make the great journey into the west, it was the third of these that had been most touched by the music in the waters of Ulmo. Under this influence, they not only came to love the waters of Middle-earth, but learned to make mournful but beautiful music of their own, from which they named themselves Lindar, translated as the singers. They often fell behind on the westward road, and so they gained the name by which history knows them best, the Teleri, or last-comers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and what's crazy is I loved that quote talking about the mournful but beautiful music. I mean, think of the one scene we get to see of Lothlórien when they're singing, and it's very like...
They're singing about Gandalf being dead.
Right, yeah. So it's very, like, fitting. So, but I don't see that place being, like, the freaking Green Dragon either. Like, I imagine that's usually how they would sing anyway. So the Nandor elves were originally Lindar/Teleri elves that just didn't end up crossing the Misty Mountains. So their name, Nandor, translates to those who turn back.
Oh, okay.
So, also, just a fun little note here. Lindar is the plural name for this elf group. The singular name for this elf group is Linda. For example, one could introduce themselves as, I am a Linda elf.
For those who are international, Linda is a very American name that is like, when an American person pictures a Linda, it's a lady who works at a reception desk. Yeah. She works at a reception desk. She has cats. She loves her grandkids. She hates her husband.
She hates her husband. She's got fun sweaters with really cheesy pins on them.
And if you're named Linda, we love you. Linda, you're great.
We love you. I'm sure that you're the exception.
And if you're listening, Linda, if you are a Linda out there, hey, cool. You've got a whole elf group that's named after you. I don't have one of those. You got one of those. That's cool.
Singers? I mean, think of you saying, you could just use that. Anyways.
Please, can someone draw a Linda elf?
Yes.
She works.
She
works the front desk somewhere in Lothlórien.
Yes. She's the customs agent that has to put the blindfolds on, and she takes away people's weapons, but she has like a killer inventory, like catalog.
She gets her French manicure all the every 3 weeks French manicure.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, guys, please, someone draw a Linda elf, please.
Yes. So,
She's
anyway,
the
sorry I'm
only
going
one
on.
with a Wisconsin accent, or Minnesotan accent. The whole everyone else has a beautiful accent, but Linda, she's like, oh dear, we can't have all these knives around here. This someone's gonna get hurt.
Now, why don't you go join in the singing over there? So, the
She
other
only
names.
sings country. I'm sorry, I'm done. She only sings country music.
The only elf with a banjo somehow.
Yeah,
Who let that? Who got that? How did that get in here?
her hair is so permed. It's huge.
I was gonna mention a perm. Oh gosh. Okay. Are we done harping on Linda's?
Yes. Linda, we love you.
Okay, so sorry, there's a lot of tangents. There's a lot of information, but I find it fascinating and I find it funny and I find it cool. So, anyways, the other names after Galadriel's arrival with the mallorn tree, because those names we mentioned earlier had nothing to do with gold. It was all about singing and a valley or a vale. So after Galadriel comes and she plants her mallorn trees, the place gets some new names. So the first one, we said it earlier, Lórinand, which is the Nandor elf name, which partly has some reference to like golden light, but in its entirety means Valley of Gold.
Okay.
Now we have Lórinand as well, but it's spelled different.
Okay.
Think of lore as more of like a laurel, like an AU, which is Quenya for gold, and Nan is Quenya for valley. So, Valley of Gold.
Hmm.
Then we have the Sindarin, because for every Quenya word, there's got to be a Sindarin word. We have Glornan or Nanlour or Nanlur, which is Valley of Gold or Valley of Golden Light.
Okay.
So, not confusing at all. So, just to tie in all of these similar sounding names, we have the Lorlindorinend, Valley of Singing Gold. That's what the kind of, I guess, like 5th edition name was. They went through a lot of name changes. I'm sure the signage was horrible. Like trying putting
They
them
keep
on making a
crossing it
map was
out.
the worst. Yeah. It's like that scene in Gilmore Girls when they're trying to give everyone new street names.
Yeah. What is it? Boils and
Soul, Soars and Boyle's Alley.
yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Anyway, sorry, that's a deep Gilmore Girl reference. So this name is also an echo of the golden tree of Valinor, Lórien, which actually affected Galadriel as, quote, Galadriel's longing increased year by year to, and at last, an overwhelming regret. So the trees she planted and the trees that made it so beautiful also made her miss Valinor a lot, which is understandable.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
So the name even changes from Lorelindorinen. I'm sorry, these names are impossible. Or Valley of Singing Gold to the Quenya name Lórien in reference to the Lórien Gardens in Valinor. Quote, a place of rest and shadowy trees and fountains, a retreat from cares and griefs. That's what the kind of garden area was in Valinor. That's one of the Valar, that was his hangout.
Okay.
So I think Galadriel wanted to mirror her new home to that of Lórien and Valinor, and it would be like a lovely retreat from her own grief and regret. Quote, she had endeavored to make Lórien a refuge and an island of peace and beauty, a memorial of ancient days, but was now filled with regret and misgiving, knowing that the golden dream was hastening to a gray awakening.
A gray awakening.
I know. Because if you look at Lórien in the movie, I don't see a lot of gold there. But
3.
Grey Awakening is so there's okay. When they're overlooking the thing and your favorite elf dude, think of his name. Give me a name.
Hal
Haldir.
Haldir.
Haldir. And they're like overlooking the thing, and that is gold, yes. But the like where they meet Galadriel and Celeborn is very like silvery to me. So the Grey Awakening part of that kind of adds up to me.
Mm. Okay,
Um,
I see it.
and
I see
this
it.
feel, yeah, this feeling is hinted at in the Two Towers book when Treebeard mentions that the hobbits, Lothlorien, to the hobbits, sorry, um, Pippin and Merry, that Lithlorien's early name was, like we said, Laurel Lindorinen. In fact, he basically says that it was indeed a valley of singing gold, but now he describes it as a queer land and references the new name Lothlorien, meaning dream flower. So,
I like Dreamflower.
mhm. So if you put all of those facts together, it makes a lot of sense. The name change from Laurel Lindorinen, or Valley of Singing Gold, perhaps reminded her too much of Valinor, so she emulated Lórien that she knew from Valinor to give herself a refuge and comfort. And then with her sadness, it got its new name of Lothlorien, meaning dreamflower, perhaps referencing her own dream of returning to Valinor one day. That's just my thoughts.
Oh. I mean, everybody is homesick for their home that they love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's hard to like move away and then you try to make your house how it was before and not feel
Yeah.
homesick. So,
Yeah.
but it's crazy because in the Rings of Power show and the movies, you kind of get the sense that she doesn't want to go back to Valinor very much.
Well,
And
I
then when
mean,
she's older, I feel, and she's like, I'm tired. I guess I'll go back someday. My retirement.
we talked about the different versions of why she didn't want to go back to Valinor. Um, like one was that she was too proud. Like, I said I wanted to go here, and I'm here, and I'm not giving them the satisfaction of saying that they were right, that this place is horrible. So like there was a bit of pride. There was a bit of, I can't leave Celeborn because he's never been to Valinor and he won't leave Middle Earth. He won't cross the Misty Mountains or whatever. There was a bit of Sauron is my enemy and I must conquer him. I must avenge even my brother, maybe. So I'm not leaving here until he's dead. There's a few different theories.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Okay, so can you believe that all of that information that I just gave you comes from one sentence in the section and then an entire footnote?
Oh, so the footnote is longer than what we actually get in the actual book.
Uh-huh. Of just
Cool,
that
cool.
piece of information. It's like a sentence and then, see here for more, and then you go to more and you're like, oh gosh.
It's like multiple pages. Like, well, it would have
I
made more
mean,
sense.
well, it's just so dense. You have to piece out the stuff to like make it make sense, and then who are the Nandor again, or who are the Lindar again? Like you have to make it make sense. So it's quite
Okay,
extensive.
okay.
That's why I do what I do. So back to the section. The Teleri elves that decided to not continue on to Valinor were settled in Lórien. However, that is not the only place they settled. If you look at our map, or you can just visualize in your mind, you will see a variety of places that will ring some bells. So if we're on just the east side of the Misty Mountains and we have like Mordor as like a boundary on the other side, we have, and you might even think of these, like what are the three big forests that you think would be in that area? So we have Lórien, obviously. And then we also have Fangorn Forest. And we also have Mirkwood, or the Greenwood, as it was called then.
Isn't that where
And the only
Legolas is
reason,
from?
yeah. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is just to kind of give you a context of like who their neighbors were, and also the feelings of the vibes of this area. This area would be called the Vale of Anduin, because the elves that would settle here, they generally like forests. So some did settle in the in Lórien, in that forest as well, and some went to
Lórien's
Greenwood the Great.
tiny. I'm sorry, I'm just
Lórien
looking
is
at the
so
map.
tiny, in
I'm
comparison.
looking at the
It is
map. Lórien is
so tiny. So
compared to
tiny.
Mirkwood and Fangorn Forest and stuff.
Yeah.
But
So I'm going to keep this brief, but Fangorn Forest, I was thinking a lot about this. How come there were no settlements in Fangorn Forest? It's not really important to our story, but it just like led me down a rabbit hole of like, how come no one settled there? Because it's a big area. Like you said, I mean, it's not as big as Greenwood or Mirkwood, but why not there? Quote, during the Second Age, this primordial forest was decimated by the logging operations of the Númenorians, leaving only a few scattered remnants. So apparently, Fangorn Forest was actually a lot bigger. Like it probably encompassed a lot of area. But
that's why the Ents are so mad at people.
exactly,
Oh
you got it.
no!
Yes. If you scroll down a little bit more, so from Aldarion's settlement of Vignalande to Fangorn Forest, I mean, I imagine Fangorn Forest was probably like closer to Vignalande, and then they just kept, cutting it back, and so that's what's left is this tiny little, in comparison to what it could have been or probably used to be,
Rude.
little forest.
Rude.
Yeah. So Jerkface Aldarion strikes again.
Okay, really fast as you can. I'm looking at the map in Mirkwood. I cannot for the life of me remember what Dol Guldur is significant for.
We'll get there in 1 second. Okay,
Duh!
so sorry.
No!
Let me finish my Fangorn rant.
Okay.
So, like you said, that's where the Ents are, which is most likely the reason that elves never settled there. And I think because, like you said, the Ents were angry because the Númenorians were showing up with their axes. They start butchering some trees. The Ents run away to escape, but are probably a little wary of these human-like creatures now. So they're pissed off at anything that comes in their forest, which leads to the Forest of Fangorn getting a reputation of being haunted and spooky, like it is in the
Murderous.
movie. Yeah. Like,
But also,
there
like,
literally is like a thing of like, if you go in, you won't come out.
I also feel like, who's the goddess that invented the
Yavanna.
Yavanna? Kind of maybe told the elves, like, you need to respect them. They
Yeah.
are, like, you give them their boundary. They are allowed to live
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Like, they were
And I
respectful.
think it could have been that too, out of respect. We're not going to get all up in your territory. There's plenty of other places to live. Yeah, I definitely think that's an aspect too. You're right.
Well, that would have been so cute if there was a mallorn Ent. She had gold hair.
I know. Uh-huh. I love that. Also, just a tie-in to the show when the Ents start getting pissed off at the Númenorians.
Yes. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's you guys again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what you wanted to get to. The other forest in this area is Mirkwood, or as it would have been called during this age, Greenwood the Great. A group of Sylvan elves would settle here early in the second age. And if you look at the map, they settled mainly near a hill named Amun Link, or Lunk, which means naked hill. And it would later be called Dol Guldur. So they settle here first. Then during the Second Age, as Sauron's strength starts to return, they start moving up towards the other mountains in the forest called Emendurir, meaning dark mountains. Lovely names. So if you see like the number 2 up there. And then once Sauron takes up residence of Dol Guldur, our man Thranduil takes his people as far north as is left to him and settles the woodland realm, number 3, which is like literally at the far, far, far edge of Greenwood the Great.
That's where Legolas is from?
Yep.
Okay.
So I know we're going off in a lot of different directions, but stay with me. So all of the elves that we have talked about that settled in this area, the Vale of Anduin, from Lórien to Greenwood the Great, Mirkwood or whatever, among them at this time, there were no princes or rulers. Although apparently Tolkien does go back on this from time to time. If you remember Celeborn's origin version that he was a Lórien prince. Now, if you think about where this area was in the First Age, before the War of Wrath, when the land was still Beleriand, this place was a long ways away from all the action. Morgoth, Melkor's focus was mainly in northwest Beleriand, and these guys weren't even on the same side of the mountains. Like, if you think of a map of the United States, is as if Morgoth was hitting the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and these guys were clear across the Rocky Mountains in places like Oklahoma or Texas, like far away. So whether it was to run away from Morgoth or a downfall of some kind or another, or just from the earth reshaping itself, many Sindar and Noldor elves settled in this area too. Quote, and they're cinderizing, like Sindarizing, I know, under the impact of he's just like making up words now, Beleriandic culture began.
I can make up to
making
words
up
too.
Words. I know. So somehow the elves from Beleriand are now meshing with the elves that had stayed behind, like in Andor, Teleri, Lindar, whatever we're calling them at this point in time. And now they're all Sindarizing, or perhaps taking on more of the Sindar ways. For example, the Sindarin language maybe being used instead of their earlier use of Quenya. That was a big hot thing.
It's the new trend.
Belerians. So now with all these elves running amok, it is unclear when the evacuation plan or detour route took some of these elves to Lórien. Quote, it may be that they came from Eregion by way of Khazad-dûm and under the auspices or divine or prophetic token of Galadriel. Because remember, she's got that foresight.
Oh.
But that is how Lórien came to be. Its basic history, its name changes, its history of its neighbors, its population, henceforth and so on. So now that we have established all of those rabbit holes, tangents, side quests, next time we will see how Lórien and the other elf settlements will fare against Sauron's Annatar's advance.
Maybe we'll get to see them make Lórien in Rings of Power.
That would be so cool.
Be cool.
That would be so
that's
cool.
maybe that's okay. This is my
prediction.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They're gonna meet Celeborn and Galadriel, and how they're gonna fall in love is they're going to start Lórien together by like planting trees together and like
Aww.
Stuff like that. That's how I think. That's my prediction. I'm setting it in stone on this recording.
I like it. I mean,
they build a home together.
They do kind of reference, though, that Celeborn is in the background or something. Like, she thinks he's dead or something. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while.
Maybe it's a back story you get to see.
Yeah.
Or they see each other again, and she's like, I missed you. And then they start Lórien together, and they like...
Yeah, I like that. Down. I like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, I'm putting in my predictions.
You locking it in? Locking it
in. When does the new season start?
I was just going to look that up.
I want to know.
I want to say it's like this fall, but I could be wrong.
November? I think it's November. I think they're putting it like they're really spacing it out where it's like a few episodes and then like 2 weeks later and then a few episodes and like 2 weeks later and then a
Oh
few
no,
episodes like
it's
that.
1 week later.
Okay.
November 11th, you get 4 episodes. November 18th, you get 2. And then November 25th, you get 2. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's my Christmas present.
Well,
if I get to see my
that's all I
boy,
got for
then
you
it's
today.
my Christmas present.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Did you see the picture I sent you? I sent Ashley a picture while we were recording of Elrond and his armor.
I mean, if Abby could have a Prince Charming, that would be it. You should post
He's
that.
got feather armor. Look, it's cool.
It is very cool. His feathery shirts.
Yeah,
That is so cool with the
feathery
feather on the.
shirts.
That's so cool. Man, the freaking costume department on these things.
Oh my
Blows
gosh,
my
don't even
mind.
get me started. Dream roll, dream job. For those who enjoy Rings of Power, we don't like when you guys come and be grumpy about Rings of Power. We are fans. We've already established that, so you don't have to try to sway us against it. We are
Just be
fans.
nice. We can have
But
different
if you are a
opinions.
fan and you are listening to this, I want to know your predictions of how the Celeborn and Galadriel meet up or whatever is going to go. Tell me your thoughts. What are
Yes.
your predictions for season 3? You
Yes.
gotta get
I
in.
like
You
it.
gotta get in so we can lock it in. So we can say we said this back in July that this was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, but I'm excited. I'm gonna give whatever his name is, Scary Man.
It's like Jamie Campbell or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh my gosh, someone put on it was like a someone's post or whatever where it was like Galadriel, it was like her point of view, and she's like, "That's my man," and it's like literal footage of San Diego Comic Con where Jamie Campbell is DJing, like at a
Oh
DJ
yeah.
thing for the Rings of
Yes.
Power. Like it has Rings of Power like signage all around it. It's just like, "That's my
Mm-hmm.
man. He's a DJ."
I've seen that. Like, what was Celeborn doing the whole time while Galadriel was out kicking butt? And then it was like a thing of him like rocking out on the DJ.
Yeah. I really want
Love
to
it.
know their thought process of like, yes, we need him doing DJ.
I mean, he is beautiful. And
He,
I mean, if freaking Elijah Wood can do it,
okay. But it's just that they've always casted him as scary people. So it's like, oh no, he's been typecasted as a scary man. So
I mean, he was a
it's hard to see
vampire,
him
he
as
was a
a
dark wizard.
he
He
was a
was
scary
innocent in Sweeney Todd, but that's a dark movie though.
he was a scary bloody vein monster
Yeah.
who killed
Yeah.
kids.
He's got range, okay?
Yeah.
You're gonna
We'll
fall in love with him at the
see.
end. Will he maybe even rival your Elrond?
No.
I that's my prediction. Abby's gonna switch teams.
No. My man.
So I accidentally forgot to do world news on this episode, so I apologize. But I just double checked. I just like checked it real quick, and there's like a crap ton of new countries, and I don't know how that happened. So
New country.
I will give them the time and that they deserve next episode. I'm so sorry. But
Okay.
we do want to thank our patrons as always. You guys stick with us and we really appreciate it, even through our scattered episodes of trying to still have a family and work and not die in life, and through this very confusing section. You guys have stuck with us and I appreciate it. So Dan, Kevin, Victoria, Avery, Ryan, and Annatar, you guys are the best.
I love that Annatar is supporting us. Thanks
I mean He's like, my time is coming soon.
He's like, I
My
want to share
debut.
the real story. This is how it really happened. You guys have it all wrong. I'm the good guy in this situation.
I mean, okay, so ever since seeing the musical Six, I have wondered this with so many stories in my life.
Yeah. We just got the narrative wrong.
I mean,
He's like, you guys kept stealing my jewelry. You threw it into a mountain. I was just trying to make beautiful things. But no.
yeah. All right, someone write some fanfic where Sauron was dead wrong.
Oh,
he was doing it for love. Where's the Anakin story?
Yeah.
Where's the Anakin story?
There are a lot of Sauron ladies out there that think he can do no wrong.
Well, it's like Fëanor did nothing wrong. He did a lot of things wrong.
But to him, no, he didn't.
No, never.
No.
Never, ever. So be sure to follow us on Instagram. Be sure to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm trying to do a speed version of this because we've been recording for a while and Abby probably has to go. Patreon, Instagram. Give us a rating, a review. We haven't had one of those in forever, guys. Please, please, please make my day and give us a new
You know what's also really fun? Tag us on, like, if you make, like, an animation on Instagram or something, like your art or something, or you tag us on, like, a funny thing on your stories or something like that. I miss those. I miss, like, people's creativity that we get, like, tagged in so we can see it, but also it's like
there are two cartoons. There are two cartoons in the universe that exist because of our podcast, and that's like my claim to fame.
Where is it? I want to see. Send them to me.
It was a long time ago. We have to post them again though because they were just really funny. It was earlier in our podcasting world of me trying to explain Fëanor to you, and I was like, he's like Iron Man, but not cool or something like that. Yeah. And then the other one was of a Balrog saying, check out my new thongs, guys. And he has like flip-flops on. And he's like, oh, wrong thongs or something. Yeah.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
Yeah. Flip-flops, not the other kind, okay? They didn't go that way.
Speaking of Balrog, have you seen the Halloween store that's selling a giant lawn ornament Balrog that you could buy?
No,
and it's not a blow up. It's not a blow up. It's like an animatronic, like the Spirit Halloween. It's not Spirit Halloween, but it's that kind of animatronic. But it's a giant Balrog.
To the Google. Okay, I will look at that on my own time. But thank you for being here, Abby, and thank you for sticking along with my crazy Alice going down the rabbit hole nonsense.
Can you guys please draw me a Linda elf, please? Please. I was going to tell you, I don't know if you've ever seen, is it The Unstoppable Kimmy Schmidt? That show?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Hilarious. No. It's so good, Ashley.
I know who the actress is, though.
There's a scene where a guy breaks up with someone because he finds out that the guy, that their kid's name is the baby, like a baby, is named Linda, and he can't handle it, and so he breaks up with them. Like, he goes to meet them, and he's like, oh, you have a kid. He's like, I would like to introduce you to Linda. And he's like, what? And then he can't handle it, and so they break up.
I want this fire pit that is a Balrog's mouth.
Oh. I'll roast marshmallows in a Balrog's mouth.
I know. Okay, I can't find it, but someone send it to me. Please, oh please. I know that there's a lamp that's at Box Lunch.
I will.
Box Lunch ever wants to sponsor us. I bought so much stuff from them.
I know. Can we get some sponsors, guys? Come on.
Yeah. I have I've spent so much money. Like looking at my shelves.
Yeah. Oh, I found it. I found it for you. Okay. I'll send it to you. I'm sending it to you.
If you want to contribute to our Patreon so I can own one of these, I will make all of the content. And I will probably cry.
It's true.
Okay, anyways.
Thanks for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Until next time, I've been Ashley.
And I've been Abby, and this has been the Sisters of the Shire podcast. And we are so happy you joined us today, and we hope you can join us next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for teaching me a day.
Yay!